way by which I can try, kasi hindi naman ganun kalaki ang influensya namin, and this is just one film. We just hope it will be a catalyst for people to make better, more deeply nuanced, and more layered films. Kasi talagang ang competition ay matindi from online streaming. Kita nyo magkano ang sine? 400 to 600, depende sa sinehan, di ba? O, magkano ang 1 month ng Netflix, Amazon Prime, di ba? Di ba? O mabigat Mabigat ang laban. Ang dapat gawin ng film industry is to show the public that it is irreplaceable. What do I mean? Noon po nagkaroon ng TV, sabi ng mga iba, mawawala na ang radyo. That was more than 100 years ago. May radyo pa rin. Bakit? Radio can do something that TV cannot. You can listen to it while driving. You cannot watch TV while driving. Mapapangga ka unless may driver ka. Pwede kang makinig sa radyo habang nandito ka, may earpod ka, hindi mo pwedeng gawin sa TV because it's a visual art. Okay. Noong nagkaroon ng TV, sabi nila, mawawala na rin ang sine. Pero hindi nangyari. Why? Because iba yung cinema experience. 3 stories, malaki. Kaya ang ginawa po namin dito, magaling yung aming cinematographer, si Paolo Magsino, katukayo niya. Yung vista namin ay best appreciated sa big screen. Yun ang dapat ipakita ng film industry. Number 1, mas mataas ang quality ng viewing experience sa sinehan. Number 2, bago nyo mapanood, the film has to be of such quality na you cannot wait for it to be on a digital streaming platform. You have to watch it now. Kasi ganun kaganda. That is the only way na mag-survive ang film industry. Ngayon, if you make movies na kahit panoorin mo sa smartphone, okay lang kasi yung eksena naman niya ay puro medium or tight shots. Wala namang panoramic scenes. Wala ka namang makitang pagkakaiba from sa cinema or sa TV or sa smartphone. You will lose out. Dapat iba yung cinematic experience.
You have to offer something.
Yes, something new that cannot be offered by other platforms. Ito po, si Paolo, bakit sabi nila, bakit ko daw paborito si Paolo Lumaco? After Mama Sapano, kinuha ko na siya. Okay. Aside from mag-jowa po kami, ay, hindi pala. Kaya hindi, yung kakalat, natin lang yun. Si Paolo po, kapag pinanood niyo siya sa sine, yung kanyang mukha ay expressive, but very economically. Every small twitch ng mata, every small movement ng muscle ng mukha niya, may kahulugan. Every gesture may kahulugan. Ganyan, kaganda, kagaling ang artistry ni Paolo Gumabaw. Hindi po lahat ng artista ganon. Merong OA, merong Juan. Marami rin magaling, siyempre, si Papa P. Pinanood ko sa Manila's Finest. Enrique Hill, na-surprise ako gumaling si Enrique Hill. Nung wala na sila ni Liza, bakit kaya? Si Juan, of course, magaling din. Sino yung, tandem yung, Shirley? Si Romic, Romic. Oo, galing na ngayon, They were all good there, kaya nagtataka ako, bakit hindi best picture yun Hindi, di ba? Third, paano ma-encourage gagawa ka ng Manila's Finest? Ang ganda-ganda ng set design, ang ganda slow burn, talagang international quality. Talagang, it is what a movie should be. Wala nag-appreciate, paano gaganahan? Ang nangyayari, least common denominator. So, yun ang dapat i-offer ng movie. It's an experience that cannot be duplicated at home. Parang restaurant, di ba? May pagkain ka naman sa bahay, pero iba yung experience sa restaurant, iba sa bahay. Iba naman sa nightclub, pero huwag na natin pag-usapan yun.
Tanungin natin si Paolo, anong comment mo, Paolo, dun sa sinabi ni attorney na very expressive ang iyong acting, ang iyong mukha. Are you aware of that?
Attorney, salamat at salamat sa mga papuri niyo. Pero for me, Am I aware of that? Siguro mas ano lang ako, mas pag nasa trabaho ako, ginagawa ko kung ano sa tingin ko tama sa character. Ilalabas ko yung emosyon na sa tingin ko tama sa character. Pero syempre, hindi naman lahat to nangyayari ng tsamba lang. Before ako dumating sa set, nagpupuyat ako magbasa ng script, nagpupuyat ako mag-note sa script ko. So, I guess I'm always aiming to be the best actor that I can be. Ayun lang yung masasabi ko. Lagi kong ini-aim na pagdating ko sa set, ready akong ibigay kung anong kailangan sa akin ng director at marami pang iba.
Thank you, Paolo.
Makasabat lang ako kasi hindi siya aware noon dahil he becomes the character eh. Napansin ko yan eh. Siya naging si Alfonso Mucho siya. Kaya yung ginagawa niya, hindi na si Paolo Gumabaw, si Alfonso Mucho na. Napansin ko kasi after Prague, nag-R&R kami konti sa kasama mama niya sa Vienna. Mga 2 days sa Vienna, si Alfonso Mucho pa rin siya eh. Hindi pa nawawala. Hindi pa nawawala yung karakter eh. Napansin ko. So, ganun siya katindi. Nagiging siya yung tao. So, yung acting niya, hindi na acting eh. Siya na yun eh. So, si Alfonso Mucho na yung gumagawa ng mga expression na yun. Hindi na si Paolo Gumabaw yun. If I may just give you a short background on how this movie came to be.
Yes.
Noong 2025, noong 2023, we were in Prague with former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and her family. So, of course, being a former president, she was greeted by the embassy staff. And then the Chargé told us the story of Czech women, a lot of Czech women falling for Filipino men who are living in Prague. And they were wondering why that was. Kasi sabi ni Chargé, ang dami daw gusto magpakasal sa kanya na Czech bride and Filipino groom. Sabi niya, I cannot perform the ceremony because I can only do it if both are Filipinos. Yun ang power ng Chargé, ng ambassador. Pwede siya magkasal abroad, basta pareho Filipino. So, we were delving into it and then, nakabuo kami ng story while having dinner about this, which evolved into a discussion about the history of the Czech Republic. And then, at that time, 2025, sabi namin, gawin natin in time for 2024 pala, 2024, na 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Czech Republic and the Philippines. Up to the time na Czechoslovakia pa. Unfortunately, of course, matagal gumawa ng movie eh.
Yes.
If you just slap a movie together, magkakaroon ka ng movie, pero hindi ganun kaganda yung movie mo. So, we had to shoot in 2 different places. Sa Mindoro for the Philippine leg at saka sa Czech Republic. Of course, there were diplomatic and logistical difficulties. Ito, pwede naman siguro ikwento yung naging problema ni Elena. Elena is Russian. Eh, di ba merong standby Ukraine, Chunchu, yung mga ibang European countries.
Yes.
Dahil ginera ng Russia. Hindi makapunta si Elena directly sa Prague. Hindi siya papapasukin. Parang sanction ng Czech Republic sa Russia. So we had to fly her to Paris and then she had to take the train from Paris to Czech Republic para walang border control. Actually, technically, nag-human smuggling kami. Yun ang mga difficulties, and there's the editing, and then there's working in sub-zero temperatures. Ngayon ko lang nalaman, yung palang camera nyo, yan, ganyan. Pagka below zero, 30 minutes na yung baterya. Ang hirap eh. It's not that easy to shoot in Europe. Hindi naman yung Paris or whatever. Czech Republic eh. Buti na lang, the Czech Republic is very friendly to movie makers. At saka ang bilis. Dito yung Film Development Council di ba 2022 entry natin yung Mama sa Pano? Dapat yun subsidy for the first time. Nakuha namin yung subsidy namin 2025. Doon, yung kanilang yung tax refund nila since nag-shoot ka sa Czech Republic, nag-shoot kami for ilang days ba? 7 ba? A week and a half. Bago ako umalis, nasa akin na yung tax refund ko. Oh, pinag-inom na namin ni Paolo sa kanila Elena dun sa mga bar doon. Sarap eh. Sarap uminom kasi lamig eh. Pero uminit lang, hindi naman parang malasing.
So those were like
Those were the difficult. Then, kinasal pa yung editor namin. Oo. So, hindi makapag-edit ng hina. Nakakasal eh. So, yun ang mga difficulties.
Alright, thank you so much for that story, sir. Well, now that it will actually be shown in theaters on February, what is your hope for the film, sir?
Well, we hope that people watch it, not only so we can, of course, I will be candid. We want at least to get back our capital para makagawa ulit yun eh. But also, to learn something from the movie. Kasi may matututuhan kayo about history, about communism, about literature. Kasi yung ending namin is a loose adaptation of O. Henry's short story, yung The Gift of the Magi. Kung alam niyo yung story na yun. Basta makikita niyo, and yun nga, yung kinikwento kay GMA, kay PGMA nung Sharjay natin, na yung cultural ang difficulty. It's difficult enough that you get married, di ba? Medyo may adjustment na yun. Ngayon, kung different cultures, mas mahirap pa pala. Kasi talagang may conflict eh. Yun lang, siguro, ewan mo kung gusto ikwento ni Pao, yung differences cultural differences, yung sa attitude towards filmmaking ng Pilipino at saka ng taga-Europe, di ba?
Yeah, maybe Paolo can give us a short preview of what happened when you first met her and the working relationship that he had with the actress.
Working with Sarah, she was very professional. Hindi sila sanay sa delays, kagaya natin. Dito sa Pilipinas, sige, call time natin 7 a.m. Tapos sasabihin mag-start at 8 a.m. pero ending nag-start na kayo 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Hindi pwede sa kanila yun. Hindi pwede sa kanila yung delay because they are always on time. They come prepared. Halimbawa, nasa standby area si Sarah and then you ask her to come down. Sasabihin mo magre-rehearse na. Tapos pagdating niya doon, kunwari, hindi pa nagre-rehearse, nagsiset up pa lang, babalik siya sa kwarto niya. So, doon ko nakita, I guess, yung pinagkaiba kung paano tayo gumawa ng pelikula sa kung paano sila gumawa ng pelikula. Doon sa Prague, they would only shoot 5, maximum 6 scenes a day. And they'd spend let's say, siguro mga 2 hours on each scene. Kaya pag pinapanood natin yung mga pelikula abroad, kaya ganun kapulito yung eksena, ganun kagaling yung delivery ng mga artista, is because they work on one scene for 2 to 3 hours. Kaya pulitong-pulito talaga lahat. Unlike sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, one scene, you would shoot it in maximum 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Tapos on the set na kayo magre-rehearsal. Doon sa kanila, 2 weeks before you start shooting, there's camera rehearsals, actor rehearsals. This actor rehearsal is kasama yung mga cam operators yun. So, habang nagre-rehearse yung mga artista, alam na ng mga cam op kung paano yung galawan sa angulo. So, doon na natin nakita. And I think, it's something that we can take from them. We can try to understand. I think we should try to also, emulate what they're doing. Kasi, since ang ganda-ganda ng trabaho nila, kaya nga ganun ka-pulito yung trabaho nila, maybe it's because of something they're doing. So, ayun, yun lang yung comment ko about the differences in work ethic siguro.